We've seen some characters with wasted potential, and unfortunately, one of them was the father of Kakashi, Sakumo Hatake. Today I'll talk about everything we know about him, his rivalry with legendary Sanins, his family, etc. But before that, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. I hope all of you have a great day, and let's get into it. Well, Sakumo Hatake, renowned across the shinobi world as Konoha's White Fang, was a jonin of the Hidden Leaf's Hatake clan, who, during his lifetime, held a fame that was said to overshadow even that of the legendary Sanin. His son, Kakashi, proved himself to be a genius like Sakumo, and idolized him, desiring to become just as great a ninja as his father. His wife died when Kakashi was very young. We don't know who Kakashi's mother was, but because of Kakashi's connection to dogs, which is basically the biggest trademark of the Inuzuka clan, a lot of people, including myself, think that his mother was a member of the Inuzuka clan as well. Sakumo witnessed his son successfully passing the entrance exam to enter the academy. Afterwards, he and Kakashi met Might Guy and his son, Guy. Guy corrected Sakumo, informing him that his son had failed the exam. As Kakashi began to openly question Guy's worth as a ninja with his weak aptitude for ninjutsu, Sakumo warned Kakashi not to underestimate Guy, as he may someday grow stronger than him. Sakumo saw Guy's hands and was sure that the boy had been going through great training. I'm sure he'd been trained very hard, as he saw many ninja achieve much because of it. I think that was the main reason why he had high hopes that Guy would grow stronger than Kakashi. At some point during his career as a shinobi, Sakumo confronted and killed Sasori's parents, earning Chiyo's hatred. While his son was still in the academy, Sakumo and his team were sent on a mission of great importance to Hidden Leaf. When his teammates' lives were endangered, Sakumo chose to abandon the mission in order to save them. The impact of the mission's failure caused Sakumo to be vilified by the Land of Fire, the villagers of Konoha, and even those he had saved. Dishonored, Sakumo fell into a deep depression, which caused his abilities to suffer as a result. Eventually, he committed suicide and was buried in the Hidden Leaf Cemetery. For many years, Sakumo stayed in limbo, waiting for the day he could seek forgiveness from his son. Sakumo was hailed as a genius shinobi and was praised for his talents in the ninja arts, even by the likes of Minato Namikaze, the future Hokage. In battle, Sakumo was a truly powerful shinobi, and in his time, his powers were said to be on par with those of the Sanin. The mere idea of facing Sakumo brought fear to his enemies, as shown by the reaction of an Iwagakure ninja who mistook Kakashi for him. During the Second Great Ninja World War, the Sanins rose to fame and received their nickname from Hanzo during a skirmish with Amegakure. It is also likely that this war was where Sakumo Hatake made his nickname as Konoha's White Fang. We still don't know what he did during this war, since we've got the least information about this war. We know that the Hidden Leaf and the Hidden Sands were enemies during this war, and who knows, maybe this is the war where Sakumo faced and killed Sasori's parents. But I don't think that killing Sasori's parents was the only thing he did during this war. Who knows, he might be the one who killed Kinkaku and Ginkaku, the ones who defeated the second Hokage, since Kinkaku and Ginkaku were definitely killed during the war. Based on their appearance, which they had after reanimation, it would be sick to see their final battle. Sakumo was also very proficient in Kenjutsu, sword technique, his reputation as Konoha's White Fang stemming from his extensive use of the White Light Chakra saber, which emitted a streak of white chakra when swung. Interestingly enough, in Naruto side story Rock Lee's Springtime of Youth, Sakumo makes a cameo appearance, and it is said that though his skills as a shinobi are unknown, he is the inventor of the 1,000 Years of Death. This feat may not be canon, but I found it very interesting and funny that a ninja as legendary as Sakumo Hatake could have developed one of the funniest techniques in the series. Anyway, still, how strong was Sakumo Hatake? In the databook, it is written that with his intensely forceful activities, he had surpassed even the Sanin. This statement is later backed up by Minato Namikaze, who tells Obito that the three great ninjas of the Hidden Leaf paled beside him, which made a lot of people think that Sakumo was stronger than the Sanins, which could be somewhat true, but also false at the same time. In Naruto chapter 240, Minato specifically told Obito that in his time, the Sanins paled beside him. At least during Sakumo's lifetime, the Sanin weren't nearly as powerful as they were by the time of Part 1 and Shippuden. They were far from reaching their climax. One of the things that suggests that statement is that during Tsunade's flashback, we can see that there is no Byakugo mark on Tsunade's forehead, which means she hadn't invented Byakugo yet. This also correlates with Orochimaru's statement about Tsunade when he said that it seems he was not the only one who developed new jutsu. He did not know what Byakugo was, which further proves that Tsunade developed the technique after Orochimaru left the village, which happened way after Sakumo's death, since Orochimaru left the village after Minato died, and Sakumo died long before Minato became Hokage. Orochimaru's own statement also suggests that much of his growth too has been done following Sakumo's death. I'm not sure about Jiraiya. He may already have had Sage Mode during Sakumo's lifetime, but I think his Sage mode was much weaker than the one he used against the 6 Paths of Pain. So in short, Sakumo was most likely stronger than the legendary Sanins, but those 3 were far from their primes and were much weaker during Sakumo's lifetime. However, this does not change the fact that Sakumo was an extremely strong ninja. He possessed potential much greater than the Sanins, and if he lived as long as they did, I'm pretty sure he could be at least as strong as the Sanins in their prime. His light chakra saber is also very interesting. It seems his sword was something special since it was a chakra blade, but unlike any other chakra blades we've seen so far, it is the only one with white chakra, which was never explained why. I guess it could be connected to some hidden technique of the Hatake clan. I think there is a big chance that Sakumo was a descendant of a samurai. Although Sakumo was a shinobi, there isn't necessarily a distinct divide between shinobi and samurai. Hanzo points this out as much when he says in chapter 531, "Many samurai have become shinobi. Their training is intermixed, tainted." This opens a very interesting gateway for Sakumo in particular, whose primary technique, the white light chakra blade, is much more akin to the way that the samurai operate than the ninjutsu that shinobi are known for. Take for example the way we see samurai sword usage in chapter 460 and the white light chakra blade in chapter 242. Where Sasuke usually pairs his sword style with Chidori, Sakumo's blade and samurai blade rely on the user's chakra without any changes in nature and emit a glow that enemies can see. Also in chapter 531, Mifune says, "People themselves are swords." This certainly harkens back to Sakumo's nickname of Konoha's White Fang, which is derived from the white light chakra blade. Even further, Mifune expands on this point by talking about how a sword can be passed on in order for a person to live on after their death. Compare this to Kakashi's dialogue in chapter 242. Sakumo's suicide was directly related to the strength of his convictions. Because he chose to prioritize comrades over a mission, he was subsequently shamed by his fellow villagers and then took his own life as a result. And yet, like Mifune says in this chapter, in chapter 241, Sakumo is declared a hero by Obito. I would even go so far as to say that the way Sakumo is found by Kakashi in chapter 240 is suggestive of the samurai ritual of seppuku, back curled, bent at the knees, alongside the symbolism of dying as the result of bringing dishonor to his household. The long and short of it is that I think that it makes a hell of a lot of sense for Sakumo to have been descended from a samurai, or even to have been one himself for a time. He had an honor code that differed from that of his fellow shinobi and evokes so much of the imagery that we see in the world building around the samurai. Fun fact, the name Sakumo is possibly derived from the word sakumotsu, meaning agricultural produce or crops. This would tie into the name of his son, Kakashi, which means scarecrow, and their family name Hatake, which means farmland. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about Sakumo Hatake? Comment down below. I hope this video was informative. Make sure to check my other videos. Shinzumaki out. Peace.